Okay, so we're just looking at a short video to finish off the probability topic this year, and it's called two-way tables. And we're looking at two types of questions, and the first one is numbers in the table, and the second one is probabilities, and we're going to do one example of each. So copy that and come across when you're ready. Okay, so the first one is an example for numbers. So we're told that we've got two groups of whatever, two groups of something, and we're measuring females and we're measuring males. And we don't get all the information, but there's enough information in the table that we can actually fill in the missing boxes, because we know that we're looking at totals. So for instance, 50 plus something equals 80, so that must be 30. And then 30 plus 30 equals 60, and then we've still got a few more numbers to go. So this number 80 plus something equals 195, so that's 115. And then something plus 30 equals 115, so that's 85. And then 50 plus 85 is 135. And then we can just check all our totals add up. So 50 plus 30 is 80, 85 plus 30 is 115, 135 plus 60 is 195, 50 plus 85 is 135, 30 plus 30 is 60, 80 plus 115 is 195. So all our numbers add up to the right spots. And then once we've done that, then we can answer questions. So for instance, what is the probability that a male is in group B? A male is in group B. So the answer is 30 out of the total 195. And I haven't got my calculator with me, but you need to cancel that down. And that would be the answer. Or you could write it as a decimal, or you could write it as a percentage. Okay, so you got those choices. But I didn't bring my calculator with me, so I haven't got an answer. Okay, what is the probability that a person is in group A? So let's have a look. So group A are these people here. So the answer is 135 out of 195. And again, I haven't got my calculator, but cancel it down. Or you can have it as a decimal, or you can have it as a percentage. So you can have all those answers. But once you fill the table in, then you can answer any sort of questions you like. So copy that and come across. Okay, now the next one is to do with probabilities. And we're told there's an event A, and event B, and there's not A, and there's not B. Now in some textbooks, what they'll do, instead of putting the word not A, they'll just put A with a dash, and they'll put B with a dash. So when you see the dash, it just means not. Okay, and you say to yourself, I haven't got enough information to finish the table off, but we know that all the probabilities have to add to 1.0, so that number we can add ourselves. So the question is going to be all these ones down here, but before we do that, we can fill in the table and with the missing numbers. So for instance, we know that this is 1. So we've got 0.5 plus something equals 1, so that equals 0.5. 0.2 plus something equals 0.5, so that must be 0.3. 0.3 plus 0.1 is 0.4. Something plus 0.4 is 1, so that must be 0.6, and that must be 0.4. So again, 0.2, 0.4 equals 0.6, 0.3 plus 0.1 equals 0.4, 0.2 plus 0.3 equals 0.5, 0.4 plus 0.1 equals 0.5, 0.6 plus 0.4 equals 1. So all the numbers fit in. So now, the first question is, draw a Venn diagram. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, it's not taken. So we have A and B. So now we'll see what these numbers mean. So when A and B are happening together, we have 0.2, and that is the intersection between the two events. So not with A and B, when they happen together, it's 0.2, so that's the intersection. And what we'll do next is we'll do not A and not B is 0.1, so that means that's outside the circle. Okay. Now we know that A adds up to 0.5, and we've already used up 0.2, so we must have 0.3. Okay, so that's A and not B. A and not B. And then we've got B. B adds up to 0.6, and I've already burnt 0.2, so I have 0.4 left over. So 0.3 plus 0.2 plus 0.4 plus 0.1 equals the 1.0. Okay, just put the little universal set in. Okay, and all these numbers here would be reflected. So B and not A is 0.4. B and not A is 0.4. As an example. Okay, so let's have a look at some actual questions now. So done the Venn diagram, tick. Find the probability of A. Now that is intersection, okay, and is the intersection. So A and B is 0.2. Now again, in the last, one of the previous videos, we talked about conditional probability. So it can be written this way, or it can be find the probability of A given B. So this slash, when you see the slash, it just means given, or it could be written as a sentence. So again, let's have a look, just to make sure you understand what's happening. So given B has happened, okay, so that is B happening. Given B has happened is 0.6. So all our answers, instead of being over 1, our answers are going to be over 0.6. So what's the probability of it being A? Well, that event is A, so it's going to be 0.2 over 0.6, and when you put that on your calculator, you get 1/3 or you get 0.3 recurring. Okay? Let's have a look at the next one. Turn colour. So, given A has happened, so that's event A, which means we've only got 2 things we're looking at. So those 2 things that we're looking at, so this time we're going to divide our answers by 0.5. And what's the probability of it being B? Well, that's the event B inside A. So it's going to be 0.2 over 0.5, which is 2/5, or it's 0.4. Okay, so linking that conditional probability. So when you see this given, we don't have all the events. So we're looking at a subset or a smaller group, and then just look at the first letter, and that's what you're looking to put as the numerator, and the given is the denominator. Okay, thanks, bye.